Hi, it's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are continuing the review of Young, Famous, and African, Season 2, Episode 8. We got one more episode after this, and that's the finale. And this episode is called Gloves Off. So clearly not all of the conflicts have been resolved. Seems like a lot of it has been, but we'll see what happens. But we left off on the episode where it looked like Nick was going to propose to Caitlin. Yeah, let's see what happens here. So, the way Swanky did that for that child, that was good. So, that really was a trailer proposal. But the way he did it was in a way where she didn't take it seriously, so she wasn't offended by it. And it was very lighthearted and fun. But in his head, he's thinking, okay, I'm going to give you a real proposal later. I just wanted to do the preview. And she took it in light heart. It was fun. I'm surprised that worked the way it did because not everyone was there. It was just a small group and no one was there to make it messy. I forgot to mention in the last episode, because this is still continuing where they were at on the mountain in Cape Town. So it's Katie, Naked, Swanky, Louise, and Fantana. They're all there together. So, yeah. Good vibes, right? So in the next scene, we have Fantana, who's meeting up with Rosette to get to the bottom of the Diamond situation because she was thrown off when Zari said that Diamond has a girlfriend. So yeah, they're going to figure it out, I guess. It looks like they're meeting in this nice little lounge and we'll see what happens. So looks like Diamond is coming back into the scene. So Diamond is going to meet up with them, but of course, Fantana wanted to talk to Rosette first to figure out what's good. And yeah, this is getting interesting. We haven't seen Diamond, I think, since episode 3. Diamond's her girl's best friend. That was the last episode we saw, which I believe was episode 3. So he's been out touring and now he's back. This is similar to season 1 though, because it's just maybe around the time when they filmed this, he goes away to tour. Maybe he's just a high touring. I think he's a high touring artist though, to be realistic. But this happened kind of last season too. But actually, he's appearing more this season than he did last season even. So he literally just got off the plane and he's going directly to see Fantana because he mentions that he's heard all the voice notes. He hasn't been able to get a hold of, she's been trying to get a hold of him, but he's been busy and she's been sounding stressed. So he thinks drama has been happening and he wants to get to the bottom of it. So he was surprised because he thought it was going to be them two, but then he meets Rosette and then Fantana introduces Rosette as Andale's first baby mama. And Diamond's just kind of like, I'm confused why she's here. But Andale has good taste because she's fine. He kind of just says Andale has good taste. Okay. I don't like Fantana. She's teamed too much and she's really kind of dumb. I think she's high key kind of an airhead. The BBLs have gotten to you, girl. The way she's presenting what's been going on to Diamond, it's so childish. It's really bad. I wouldn't want to be with her. She's too much, and she doesn't articulate herself well. Like, Diamond has his glasses on, keeping his composure, but looking at her, probably thinking, this bitch is crazy. And then Rosette is basically like looking like tone and delivery lady. Like, she's compiling all the drama as one thing. Instead of like, and she's saying it's so much drama, da 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 da. And I'm like, dude, there's levels of how you catch someone up. This ain't that. So yeah, I'm sorry, Fantana could be one and done. I don't really want her back next season. But Louise can stay. I really wish Bonten was stuck around and thugged it out, because I think she would have been a great addition, but this child, too much. Oh, this is so good. So apparently Fantana doesn't follow him on social media or something. I don't know. But Rosette is straight up said in a confessional, not in front of all them, in the confessional, she's like, Diamond does have a girlfriend. It's all on social media. He totally has a girlfriend. Fantana, she's dense. Not all is here. Not all is clicking. So both Andale and even Swanky were trying to protect her from herself, because we've seen in previous scenes she is not good for thinking for herself, and she's easily influenced. She blows like the wind, and she's gonna believe this smooth talking dude over actual concrete information. All you had to do is check his IG and see he has a girlfriend. Why would Zari lie about that? That's the thing that she's not understanding. Because her vocabulary is just not, she's very immature. The way she views the world is very immature. And I'm wondering, she must be in her 20s too. Because the way she views the world the math ain't mathing. I'm confused. I'm very confused. Fantana really believed that. Even though the whole entire time was really just her talking. All he says, he doesn't have a girlfriend, but dudes lie every day, B. People lie every day. She didn't ask for no proof or no nothing. All she cared about was him saying it. So the next scene is Caitlin, and she's meeting up with Andale. Annie's making an appearance again. Woo! And Andale's other baby mama, I can't think of her name. Montalyn, and Andale. Yeah, that's everybody. Because they're going to the scene, and Caitlin, she's confused. She doesn't know what just happened when it came to that proposal. She doesn't know if it was real or not. And this is exactly what I meant. She took it well, but I don't know if she took it well because she just didn't know what was happening, or if she thought if she was in on the joke, but it turns out she was not in on the joke. So, yikes. Thank you. So, Katie explained to the group what happened, and Andale right away is like, oh my gosh, you're engaged, congratulations. So he was about to pop a bottle, and then she shared, she was like, but look, no ring. And Andy's like, hold up, time out. And now she's talking, in her confession, she's not even talking English, she's talking in Pidgin. So you know it's serious when she's talking in Pidgin, saying, what is happening? What do you mean? What is that? She's confused. She's like, nah, that's not the move. See, I told you. I be telling you, I be knowing. So Annie, Caitlin, and myself, we're on the same page on this. Without the ring, it ain't real. Now, I'll be honest and fully transparent. I fell for this in my early 20s. My first engagement was a joke of engagement, no ring. And looking back, I'm like, girl, no, not the move. So I literally so when I was saying last episode and then even this episode, I'm literally saying this with my chest. If the engagement ain't together and there ain't no ring, this trailer thing, don't do this false thing, because no, not the move. No, it's not it. So, but the thing is, so Katie in the confessional, she's like, this conversation just feels really awkward because I feel like Quentin should be here too to kind of explain himself. But in the same time, I'm glad she's having the conversation without him, because she really does need to sort this out. Because I think, what's not spoken about enough, and I'm going to say this even from my personal experience that I had, you get caught up so much in the moment of someone going down their knee and saying those words. You don't really be knowing what's happening, especially if it's somewhere where you're not expecting it. You literally have to really sit with it and really process it. And it usually takes time to process it because it's a lot. Because you basically when someone says, will you marry me, with, the traditional way of proposing, you're basically, that's a life-changing event, like a major life-changing event. And it's really, really hard to process. And so you're kind of in shock for a long, long time. And I kind of felt that way. So I think she's literally talking this through with them, but like thinking it through and talking it through at the same time. Because one of the things that she also just mentioned was she hasn't told any of her friends and family that this happened. Well, her other friends and family that this has happened. And then the follow-up question, I think it was Andre that asked, like, well, what about Nick? Has he told anyone? She's like, no. And then they're all just like, so they're confused too, because honestly, what Nick didn't make any sense. If you're going to do it, you need to do it. And be prepared. Because anyone who really wants to do that, he would have actually had the ring on him and would have just like, oh, I don't need this ring, I got this one. That would have been smooth and slick. And then you could give her another one. So in the next scene here, we now have Zari meeting up with Louis and Conti. And I think they're going to just recap I feel like most of this episode is going to be a recap of the Cape Town excursion that they had the episode before, and along with and talking about issues being resolved. So I think that's what this next scene is going to be. And probably most of it's going to be that, minus the Fantana thing. Fantana, she's just doing her own thing, and you kind of could tell I don't really see it for her, but yeah. So basically, I don't think Zari knew that they patched things up. So Swanky and him are good. So Louise was just like, no, Swanky and I were good now. And then basically, Zari's like, so that's good. Then why is Swanky being this way? And then Conti's like, he's going through heartbreak. And then she's like, with who? And then even Louis is like, Annie, like they're, and it's one of those things, like, I'm kind of confused at why Zari's confused, because it's pretty obvious that that's what's going on with Swanky, because that issue never did get resolved. We know that issue didn't get resolved. Swanky himself said it didn't get resolved because the answer that he wanted, he didn't get from her. So it's still unresolved issues with that. And so he's still kind of heartbroken about that whole entire thing. And so Zari thought that was resolved, and and she's like, and they're like, no. Conti's like, when was that resolved? And she's like, oh, yeah. And so they're like, yeah, he's going through a lot. which is true. Oh, so I thought this was on, it's not. So yeah, basically this explore, like them saying this to Louis. Louis actually has is more sympathetic towards Swanky now, because now he knows what's going on, that it wasn't personal. It truly wasn't personal. He really was going through his own thing. And this hopefully will bring them even closer together now that they understand each other fully, because Swanky didn't really share what was going on with him. But now he knows, and hopefully this should resolve some things. But hopefully Luis doesn't use his information and put his foot in mouth again, because he just isn't the best at articulating his feelings and stuff. So Luis came up with an interesting idea, and I don't know how that's gonna go. He decides, he thinks it's a good idea, and it's gonna be on him if it doesn't work. That's the problem. That's the thing about it. He wants to put Swanky and Annie in a room and make them talk. Just lock them in there and make them talk. It didn't really work well the first time, so as far as them two trying to talk, I don't know how it's going to work this time either, because I feel like Annie still is just in her own world and refuses to like really take any accountability, and Swanky is still really emotional about it. So also in this scene, the subject of Zari needing to have a conversation with Diamond comes up. And when I tell you I was not expecting this, So apparently, and I forgot that this happened, but this, according to Fantana, which I don't believe it to be true. Actually, no. We'll see. I'm not sure, because I don't remember, because this happened back at episode 3. So Zari wants to confront Diamond first, basically providing information to Fantana about her. And from her eyes, she sees as being disrespectful. You just met this girl. You're telling her all my business that has nothing to do with you when it comes to like the surrogacy of it all. So again, one thing I will say, because it even happened with Swanky, but Swanky apologized. So that's another reason why Luis and Swanky are good, because apologies happen. Accountability happened. They're good. I don't think I mentioned it, but Swanky did actually apologize to him about how he's been acting and whatnot in the misunderstanding. But Diamond also said, you know, that's how the surrogacy thing came up to begin with, because Diamond brought it up to Fantana. And Fantana's just going along with it because, again, she's really mature and just did all that and kind of uses a dig towards Zari. And Zari, rightfully so, she's not really mad at Fantana. She's really mad at Diamond right now, because what she's thinking is, if this is true, if she really did say all this to Fantana, if Diamond really said all this to Fantana, she basically said he's going to wish that I was never his baby mama. He's going to wish. So it seems like there's new beef that's developing, and it's from the unlikely source. Which, in a messed up way, maybe that was what Fantana wanted the whole entire time. To separate them two so that she doesn't have to worry about the baby mama being in the picture. Messy and all, I'm almost doubting that's the case, because I just don't think she's smart enough to do that. But yeah. But also too, they're kind of trying to talk her down from doing this. Conti and Luis is trying to be the voice of reason, even though he don't really care for Diamond. He's like, this doesn't seem like a good idea. And also Zari's like, I want to do this for a whole entire group, because he's a snake charmer, as I said. And she's like, I don't want to get lost in the sauce. I need to say what I need to say, and things need to be addressed. So that is where that scene ends. So apparently they're gonna have another Ponderosa soon, because that's what this group does. Ponderosas. A lot of them. Get your buffet card ready. So in the next scene, takes place actually at Andale's house. We never seen Andale's house, but he's letting us in on that this season. And Rosette is dropping their kids off, and they have 2 children together, and they looked really cute. And but the intention of this scene is that Andale wants to have this conversation with Rosette, wants her true blessing on him being able to move forward with his other baby mom, because I think he still really does want to go that direction. He still wants to be with her. But he wants to have the conversation with Rosette first before he does all that, because he's trying to be respectful. But we'll see how this goes, because we know Rosette really wants to be with Andale in that way and not in any other way. So, side note, her name, the other baby mama's name, I've been saying it wrong this whole entire time, and I'm going to correct it when I edit those other videos, is Sabane, I believe. I will put her name in the description, or her name as I'm speaking about her, because I have been butchering her name the whole entire time, and I would like to apologize. I'm not trying to do that. Sorry. But yeah, I've had her name wrong like the whole entire time. So my apologies. So he got right to it. They are having a glass of champagne, and he's like, hey, you might not like to deal with me after this, but he's like, how would you feel if Sabante and I got back together? He just went right for it. So this at least is telling me he's serious. He's dead ass. He really wants this to work, and he's not trying to waste any more time. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with this though. So more is revealed with this conversation. Rosette's POV is that Savette has been blaming Rosette for the reason why Andale and Savette not working out. And that's why there's such a strain in their relationship. By the relationship, I mean Rosette and Savant. Her name, I will get it together. I really will, I promise. But that's the reason why there's a strain between them two. Rosette just countered him, said that let's us just get back together and stop this rubbish. That's what she said. So Rosette wants to be back with Andale. She finally made it very clear. She's not even saying it jokingly manner anymore. She's saying that like because she means that. And hopefully now Andale sees why there's so many issues, because you have two women that are in love with you. I think Andale was too stuck in his own head to realize that the problem is also both of these women are also in love with you, are waiting for your decision, which is wild. So we'll see. Yeah, it's wild. So the conclusion is meeting, it didn't go exactly how Andale expected, because now he's back at square one, because now he realizes that Rosette is in love with him too. So now he doesn't know what to do. And I don't understand how he didn't know that, but like he now realizes she wasn't joking all those times she was saying all that. Because she said it this time with her chest, like, dude, stop the games. Let's just get back together. I don't understand why we're wasting time. We're best friends already. Let's just do this. And I personally think they all just need to move on. But I know when you have kids, that changes things. So I can't speak from that perspective. Because the doubling, tripling back, I don't know how often that works out. I mean, those who've done that, let me know. I just never been that type of person. Once I'm done, and the beef is cooked all the way, I don't double back. The next scene, it switches over to Caitlin and Quentin at their place, and they are about to have dinner together, and I think they're finally going to have that conversation to figure out what happened at Cape Town. And also, Caitlin wants him to be vulnerable, but truly vulnerable, just like he kind of was at that proposal that he did. She wants that energy from him pretty much regularly instead of like that one time. So that way she knows it's real. And yeah, naked is being naked, like first season naked. I thought he changed. No, he's just straightforward saying like, yeah, it was a trailer proposal, babe. That was his answer. Like, that is a term that really happens in real life regularly. Huh? So this conversation, I don't see it going anywhere. I think it's going to we're going to see that their relationship is not as clinging together as they were trying to present, like the first, most of the episodes. We're seeing cracks. The cracks that have been cracks have not been resolved for real. So she asked, why did you feel the need to do a trailer proposal, or basically a test proposal? And his answer is, why not? I feel kind of slightly triggered by this because I had an ex who literally, when I asked him why would he do what he did when it came to my proposal, it was literally the same response, only he was also drunk too. And I wanted to just... So now he's speaking for both of them and saying that I don't think, but we both know that neither of us are ready. This is the naked I know from the previous season. Mansplaining her POV and her feelings. There you are. I was wondering where Naked was this whole entire season. He has shown up on episode 8 of this season. He's here. He's back. Ooh. And just like that, Katie or Caitlin, she's activated. So he basically tried to turn it around on her and say, like, based off of how you've been acting lately, I don't think you're ready. So that's why it was a trailer, because I needed to see if you're ready or not. And she's like, to me, that's like dangling a carrot. Why would you do that? And then she's like, and then once he said I don't know if you're ready, she's like, oh, see, this is the conversation I've been wanting to have this whole entire time. And she's about to get him all the way together. I could tell she's about to get him together. Like her voice is getting elevated. She's about to say her POV the way she needed to been. She should have been did this, because she's like, I've been waiting for you to do this. I've been waiting for you to do this. The whole thing is she's been waiting. And ooh, girl. Oh, I feel you on that one. Ugh. I feel you on that one. I'm not going to say why I feel her on that one, but child, I feel her on the waiting. Waiting for this man to get himself together, basically. That's all I'm going to say. So I hope he says this to Katie, but right now he's saying it in the confessional because she asked him the true question, the question that she should have been asked him, are you scared? And he says right away in the confessional, cuts him in the confessional, he said, yes, I'm scared. I've been married twice. I don't want to fail again in marriage. I don't want to I don't want to get myself hurt. I don't want to hurt you, Katie. Like, it's the most sensitive he's been, like, pretty much this whole entire time. And hopefully he says this to her instead of does his stern front, because I think that's all she wants from him, is for him to be fully transparent about how he's feeling so that she knows how to navigate. And like I said, I can identify with this. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna say anymore, but I can identify with this. That's all I'm gonna say. So he never did say it to her directly, so I don't know if anything got resolved. So that basically concluded that scene. So in the next scene, so it cut off to the next scene, and apparently must be either later on that evening or I think it is later on that evening, probably. It is all the guys together. They're all walking one at a time, including Tubaba, so he's there in this scene too, and Diamond, and they're all about to, they're out there about to play soccer. And they actually called it soccer Maybe they Americanize it for the audience here. Because I think the rest of the world calls it football, but they call it soccer. But anyway, Swanky, of course, is not dressed to play soccer because he's like, I don't do sports. He straight up said, like, look, I don't do sports. Like, so I'm here giving fashion like I always do. So he has a blanket again, but different color blanket and different stuff. I mean, Swanky's doing what Swanky does best, styling and profiling on them, you know. So apparently this is not going to be drama-free. We thought it was, but Swanky is coming again. His guns have stayed ablazing this whole entire season. So his intention to come to this guys thing is to actually confront Tubaba because he wants to know what's going on with Annie. Yeah. Another impromptu Ponderosa that we didn't think was going to be a Ponderosa. We thought this was going to be a light scene. Nope. Not at all. So right away, Swanky gets right into it. This is one thing about Swanky that I appreciate. He'll be wasting no time. When he has someone to confront and talk to, he's going to talk to them right away. He ain't going to waste no time. Let's get past the pleasantries. Hello, hello, hello. And okay, let's talk about it. So he straight up was kind of saying his POV about like how he's hurting and you know how things are not going well with him and Annie. And I didn't know this until he said this just now. Like, I guess Tubaba and him were friends too. I thought it was just more of an Annie and a Swanky thing and not really Tubaba. And so he expected Tubaba to intervene more to figure out what was going on. And again, I think it's just all misplaced. Annie is who you need to deal with and her only. I don't think you need to pull anyone else in. And I really don't think Swanky is processing it and going through it. And hopefully the guys being there will stop it from being crazy and will help get some common ground and maybe help resolve this issue. I'm hoping by the last episode their issues get resolved. Because I don't want this to be carried. If there's a season 3, which I hope there is, I don't want this to get carried over to season 3. I really don't. For some reason, Tubaba's completely offended. And I don't know what is happening for him to be that offended. Because I think Swanky's asking legitimate questions that aren't really worth where he's going to be upset. But his anger... I understand why he might be annoyed that he got pulled into it, but like his response is a lot more aggressive than I think it should be. I'm a little confused by that. Maybe he's more offended that he's confronting Tubaba in front of all the guys versus, confronting him in front of all the guys versus just confronting him one-on-one. But I don't know what situation where they would have been one-on-one because Tubaba's never around really, unless he's out with all the guys or he's out with Annie. There's like no other time where he's just going to be there, So we'll see what happens here. I was right. Tubaba's mad because he did it in front of the cameras. That's exactly why Tubaba's mad. He's not mad about the question. He's just mad about the timing of it in front of the cameras. Because I think from Tubaba's standpoint, similar to what Annie's POV has been this whole entire season with why she kind of ain't really messing with Swanky like that for real, is Swanky's coming off like a prima donna. And also is doing a lot of stuff in front of the cameras. But Swanky just understands the assignment and realizes that this is a reality show. Like, we're supposed to be showing our real lives, right? But I think it's a case of Tubaba is upset because this has been lingering for months, even before the show was filming. So this could have been resolved before the show even started. He could have intervened and got y'all resolved and got y'all good again before the show started. That's the piece that's missing. So that kind of does make me look at Swanky a little sideways, because I'm just like, there's two sides of the story. For one, yeah, you're supposed to film in real life and be transparent on reality TV, but also two, it's the Giselle effect. You wait until the cameras come on to bring up the conflict. It's a little hairy. Oh, I forgot to mention that last scene, Andale was the only guy who wasn't there, but the next scene actually, so nothing got resolved on that last scene with Tubaba and Swanky. And Tubaba kind of said his POV, but he didn't say everything he said in the confessional clearly. So that's not resolved. If anything, now Tubaba's mad at Swanky now. So now it's two people that have issues with them instead of just Annie. Now it's both of them that have an issue with Annie, with Swanky. So now we move on to the next swing, and is Andale. We're back at Andale's house. He's trying to figure out things on what he's gonna do, because that is basically his main thing that he has going on right now. He's just trying to figure all this out now. So he has Savant coming, so the other baby mama, and basically they're both describing they've been in this limbo where neither of them have moved on. Rosette's different. Rosette has been moving on stuff, so I think that is kind of slight difference there. So that's probably why Andale has never taken Rosette seriously. But with Savant and Andale, neither of them have really moved on. Andale just moves on between the two of them. That's his problem, for the most part. And then he was entertaining Zari. So he's tried to move on. She has been just waiting. So hopefully now, since they're meeting up, they're going to figure out what they are and either move forward. They just need to move forward. Whatever the decision is, forward movement just needs to happen instead of the stuckness, because being stuck is like the worst, and that's where they're at. And it's never a good place to finally have a conversation. She brought the kids over, her kids over, so the other two. And yeah, it looks like they're finally gonna have a conversation. She still is she's doing the right thing. He starts off the conversation asking, what do you want? And she's like, you're the leader here. You need to state what you want, and then I will state what I want. We're not going to keep this roller coaster going on. You're the one who mentioned you want to have a conversation, so let's have that conversation. That starts with you having the conversation. And I can identify with this. Instead of this episode called Gloves Off, I want to call this, I can identify with this episode, because child, the way I'm getting triggered. Child. Andale was finally did the right thing. Not finally. He does the right thing a lot, but he did the right thing with this situation. He did close the chapter on them too. He said, hey, us going back and forth, it just seems like it's a move of comfortness, not the right move. It's just about, the move is about being comfortable, but not about being happy, and it's not necessarily the right move. And I agree. It's like doubling back. Where does growth happen when you double back? And he also even mentioned, like, we've tried everything else already. So what else is there to try? Because they've been doubling back on this for a long time. For 20-something years, it seems like, or something like that. I don't know if it's that long, but they have 2 kids, and one of the kids looks like a preteen. So, come on, do the math. Pardon me, do the math. They've been doubling back for so long, and that was his original girlfriend before Rosette came along. So their history's been so long on this doubling back. So he did break things off. And that was the right decision. And really, she needed to have him go first so he would do that, because her talking to him is going to prolong things. They're going to stay in the cycle. So it looks like the cycle's finally going to end. Finally. Because that's just never a cycle you want to be in. The limbo cycle is not, aka purgatory. I call that purgatory cycle. There's no good relationship comes out of being in purgatory. I'm sorry. I'm not Catholic. I was raised a Lutheran. Heaven or hell? Just which one is it? I don't need this middle ground where nothing's happening. The stuckness of it all. Oh, no. So I totally agree and understand that. So yeah. Hey, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Both my mics are out, so Basically, where it ended though with Angele Singh is that he was overly honest with her, which you can't be overly honest with people. And that's the thing that he seems to suffer from. And I think he doesn't seem to realize that he is a huge part of why there is this triangle to begin with. Like, I don't think he really is thinking that part through, that he is a huge reason why the triangle even exists between them. But because he did state after the fact, because she wasn't really happy about the answer. She said she was happy that finally there was some closure, but that was a lie. The only closure she really realistically wanted was him being with her. And that's not what she got. She got him breaking things off. And then she's like, so have you told Rosette that yet? And that to me tells me everything I need to know. And that's why I said what I said when it comes to her. She did not want closure. She wanted the right choice, her right choice. And as women sometimes, and that's really as people, we need to be truthful with ourselves sometimes when we say we want closure. That's a lie. We want the right decision. We want the decision that benefits us more. It's not really about closure. And so he was honest and told her the truth. Like, yeah, I talked to her about it. And he overly shared information that like, yeah, now she wants to be with me. And so now she's questioning like, okay, so you dumped me just for her. And this is another lesson. Sometimes there is a such thing as being overly honest. You don't need to be that honest with people like that. Like, I'm a firm believer, sometimes when it comes to certain things, Mario Ryan's, I don't wanna know. Because most people, rather than just, ignorance is sometimes bliss. And yeah, sometimes you don't want to know all that. Like, it wasn't information she needed to know. If she really is wanting closure, she doesn't need to know that, right? Right, okay. So he tells her, and he's like, and so she feels a way now that the closure wasn't real. It's more or less her answer was different. And so now it's still she still feels a way about Rosette instead of just realizing this dude ain't for you. Let him go. Like, really, the choice is none of y'all should be together anymore. The doubling back doesn't work. Let go of the experiment. Like, and if he is to choose Rosette, he's still doing a form of doubling back. So hopefully he still does not do that. He hasn't said that he made a decision or anything yet, but because the trust is kind of already just shaky, which is another thing. I guess, sorry, I don't mean to go on a rant, but in my head I'm thinking, why are we having all these conversations when trust is like an issue? Because if you don't have trust, what is your relationship based upon? I'm sorry, I can't be with someone that I no longer trust. I can't even be friends with you if I no longer trust you. That's where I'm at with it. I barely even want you in my life if I can no longer trust you. That's how I am. Like, and I don't understand where you can, if there's been no actions to rebuild the trust, what are we doing? And so, anyway, that's where that leaves off at. The scene kind of ends awkwardly. On to the next scene though. We have Nadia finally showing what she does. She's doing sound check with a rap song. The rap is kind of definitely more American style rap, and she's at Onyx, a strip club. And I could tell it was a strip club just because of the way it looked. And actually Onyx, I think, is a strip club chain, so I've heard of that strip club before. But anyway, so they're there. And she invited all the girls for basically to hang out before her show happens. And she meets up with Fantana, shows up first, and Fantana spills the beans that, Diamond's back. Yay, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. And Fantana basically just reiterates that she's dumb. and still believes Diamond that he doesn't have a girlfriend, when literally it's public knowledge. Everyone knows he has a girlfriend because, you know, even Nadia's like, it's all over the blogs, it's all over social media, it's on his social media. But she's like, if he's not claiming her, it doesn't count. She's just staying dumb. She just wants to stay dumb. She wants to stay ignorant. Which to me is just kind of like, there's a difference between being ignorant because you don't see it, but like, this is more of like, it's kind of in your face that this is a thing, and you basically say you're willfully being a side chick. You're doing exactly what Luis said he didn't want you to do. He didn't want that for you, and that's exactly what you're about to do. But you took offense to him saying that. Interesting. From there, all the rest of the girls show up. Everyone's there. The only one who isn't there is Rosette. Annie even shows up, and Annie's looking like a snack. Everyone else is all dressed all kind of like girly and stuff, but Annie she looks like she's ready, and not in she's dressed in tomboy chic. She's looking kind of like how Jocelyn was dressed at the Love and Hip Hop reunion when she got into that whole entire brawl for all with the whole entire cast. That's how she's dressed. She has her braids, has this cutoff, have her cutoff shorts on, tomboy chic. Looking good though, looking good. Braids, braiding, looking like everything. And she didn't waste any time. She says hi to everyone. Nadia's actually pleasantly surprised to see her because she wasn't sure if Annie considered her a friend or not anymore, because the only person apparently that Annie's been hanging out with is Andale, and we all know that, right? And so right away, Annie comes with this energy like, I have a bone to pick with you, Conti. Where's the phone calls? Why you even been calling me? Are we good or not? And Conti's like, where are my phone calls? And so, yeah, apparently they're gonna get right into it right now. So Conti in her confessional, she's like, I don't think I'm loving Annie any less. I'm just loving her how she wants to be loved, from a distance, because it sounds like that's what she wants. So she clear jabs, because I think Conti in a lot of their points is, girl, the friendship has to be reciprocated. And I think that's the lesson that Annie is not figuring out. Her friendships are all one-sided and she's not seeing it yet. And I think even that's kind of like why even her and like Swanky might be off. One-sidedness of it. So we thought the beef was over with. So after they do their soft little jab, like Conti and Annie, they kept it cute and stopped it. And then all the girls were like just asking, where have you been? Like, you haven't been around. Like, kind of co-signing Conti, like, dude, like, out of more or less concern, not really trying to be shady, but just like, you haven't been around. We didn't know where we stood. And are you part of this group or not? And so then Zari intervenes. It's like, yeah, you missed my party. And then you also missed Fantana getting with Diamond. Fantana and Diamond at the studio, just getting right to her, firing all cylinders on her. Because she knows she can, because the way Fantana acts, she acts like a child. And it's easy target. High key. Sorry. Not sorry. Zari got right to it, and she's actually doing it in kind of like not the way she would normally do it. Fantana, girl, you need to like take several seats, because Zari is actually not handling you the way she normally would. She's actually trying to be like sensitive about it, which this is kind of a new leap for her. She's taking it easy on you, and you can ask Annie that. She's taking it easy on you. She ain't even going all the way in the way she normally would. She was like, so she's talking to like the other ladies that are sitting next to her. So Conti and Nadia, like saying like, hey, I just want to know what's being said, because my real beef is actually with Diamond, because Diamond's been talking about a whole bunch of stuff to Fantana about me. And I don't know why I'm a subject of this, that, and this, and which is valid. Like, if she ain't there, why are you talking about her? But it's because Fantana's been pressed like a panini about Zari from day one. One. Oh, Fantana keeps saying whatever, like the things that Diamond has said about you. If I was to say what he said to you, you would have a stroke. She won't say it though, which that's what's upsetting Zari's. Like Zari's like, just say it. I don't care. Because I really do believe Zari don't be caring. I think Fantana is projecting big time because Fantana, out of all these girls, is clearly the super most insecure girl I have ever seen. She's so insecure. She does kind of remind me high key of Nadia, how she was in season 1. Nadia, she still isn't my favorite because she still doesn't give anything to this show other than bone carrying. We don't know any of her business still. But at least she's not as messy as Fantana. Like Fantana is a case of Nadia, hold my beer. Like, oh, this can't get any messier. You know, Fantana's already like, and Fantana's like, hey, hold my beer, I got you on the messier. And it's not even good messy, it's just immature and just annoying. Like high schoolish. So the episode concluded with Fantana and Zari got completely into it, and Fantana thinks this is Love and Hip Hop and was about to put hands on her and kept calling her old bitter bitch. Just kept on calling her that. And she's like, I'm not bitter. Zari the whole entire time is just chilled. Just sitting there, drinking her drink, chilled. While Fantana is just working herself up, being pressed like a panini, and she's like, I don't like these side remarks you make. Just rah, just on this rah. And everyone else is just like, girl, you're embarrassing, stop it. Like, it was annoying. So that was the end of the episode though. Please like and comment and subscribe to the channel if you get anything of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. Bye.